For my final Live Life series adventure, I needed to push myself to the limits, so I traveled to Tanzania, Africa. This is the Kilimanjaro National Park. I'm nervous because this is my first time camping out. Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest freestanding mountain in the world. We decided on an 8-day round-trip hike to summit. This is like the most challenging thing that I've done to date, and I just feel like it's just going to be, whatever happens, it's going to be big. Ski! We began our trek through a rainforest, heading up to Big Tree Camp, with monkeys in the trees and the sounds of the forest. We started out slowly with our group of porters who carried everything we needed for the journey: camping gear, food, water, and all of our film equipment. We're pole. That means taking it easy. The hiking's going awesome. It's hard. Don't get me wrong, it's really hard. Straight up very steep hills. I had to overcome a lot of emotional things in my life, but now I feel like I'm overcoming a lot of physical things. We were expecting to hike anywhere from 5 to 9 hours a day. We climbed from 7,000 elevation, ended up at 9,200. Wasn't too bad. And I was carrying a heavy backpack too, so it made it a little harder. I woke up the next morning happy to experience my very first camp out in a tent.
Shebbie, how was your first night sleeping in a tent?
Freezing. I'm drinking tea right now to warm me up. I slept good. It was nice. As we continued our ascent, we ended the trek through the rainforest and welcomed a change in the terrain. I could feel that we were making progress. The arid climate reminded me of my native Southern California mountains. The first day was not bad. It was pretty easy. The second day was kind of challenging. I'm ready for the next 6 days. I did not see myself doing this a year and a half ago. No way. A year and a half ago, it was just about me going out and having fun, taking care of my life, myself, my body. If I can reach the top, I feel like symbolically, I have overcome all the obstacles that have held me back. And once I'm at the top, I feel like the sky's the limit. I could do anything I want to do. I received a warm invitation to dance with my porters as they sang to the mountain, asking it to allow me to hike to the summit. I couldn't feel more supported by my team than that. They were rooting for me. We were above the clouds now, and the rest of our trek took on a new landscape. I love the morning hours. Having breakfast as the sun came out, it gave me a moment to reflect on my previous day challenges and what I had to look forward to. Would it get harder? What made the hike difficult were the hours of constant trekking up steep trails, or the opposite of trekking down the steep terrain. We acclimated this way before ascending to higher altitudes. I really felt this as we hiked up to Lava Towers and then down to Poronco Camp. We went from approximately 12,000 feet elevation up to 15,000 and then back down to 13,000 feet elevation in the same day. The hardest 10-mile hike I've ever done. But I still enjoyed being out in nature on this mountain. I had already begun to contemplate so much about my life. On the 6th day, we reached base camp late afternoon. It's day 6 of our hike up to Kilimanjaro. We just arrived to Camp Kosovo. You can see behind me, the mountain. The clouds are just touching the top of it, but that's going to be our summit. When we get up in the morning, we're expecting it to be about 10 degrees. It's going to be very cold. And so we're going to try and get as much rest as we can tonight because tomorrow is going to be a big day. We had dinner early so we could hit the sack for a few hours of sleep before waking up at 11 p.m. to begin our final ascent to summit. That feels good.
Okay.
I feel so much better than I did last night when I went to bed. My headaches, well, the congestion's gone. I feel work, so my cold is under control, so I feel so much better. I'm ready. I'm excited. Today is summit. Today is the big day. The altitude made me feel lethargic and very cold. My guide, Godlove, gave me a pep talk and encouraged me to maintain mental toughness because I would really need it now.
You okay, Shebbie?
Yep, she's...
I was tired, not from the exhaustion, but from the thinning air as we gradually ascended. We hiked for hours and hours. I kept pushing, thinking about the summit. I'm going to make it, I thought to myself. My heart felt happy, but my body wouldn't let me show it. When I knew we had arrived, I wanted to leap for joy, but I could barely raise my arms. Every bit of energy had to go into the next step to summit.
You did it.
It was hard.
But you did
It was really hard. But I did it. I summited Kilimanjaro. 19,371 elevation. Yay. At the summit, my body felt the worst. Yet, all the while, my mind gently said, Shebbie, you've been through a lot of trials and overcome them. So it is today. You stand high above it all. Be free now. I couldn't be happier coming down that mountain.
Kilimanjaro Studio! One team, one dream!
I danced and sang with my porters and Godlove. I was extremely grateful to them. I look a mess. I'm all covered in dirt. I haven't had a shower in 8 days. My hair, oh my God, never mind. On my climb up, I was thinking about what would it mean to me to summit this mountain, and it meant, for me, it means freedom. Freedom from everything in the past that has ever held me back, and from all the stereotype, from just being a woman, a mother, a wife. Summiting Kilimanjaro marks the end of my travels for this series. It was the hardest but most fulfilling of all my adventures. Every place I traveled to brought me closer to the summit of freedom I longed for. It challenged me to face and conquer my fears. It transformed my mind into believing anything is possible. Now I can share this love authentically with others.